Good evening, everyone, and welcome yet again to another Friday Night Live here, 2026. We have passed over into the new year, and you folks are with us here tonight, and we've got a full page crew here. It's sort of a bit of like a little bit of a reunion. You know, we've been missing each other, all four of us, on a broadcast, but we've all gotten ourselves together. The holidays are behind us. And like always, I'm here with Ed, Jen, and Ron. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Hello, Phil. How are you?
Good. How was everybody's holidays?
Busy, but fun.
Quiet, mostly. Busy, getting ready, trying to get prepped for Paige.
Correct. Yeah. Well, and Ron, I'm sure you haven't been doing any work at all, Ron. It just was all like lazing about, right?
There's no words that can even describe the amount of work that's being done right now. None at all.
Yeah.
It's, I love everybody coming to the convention, but it's a lot of work right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole lot.
And the eagle-eyed viewer will notice that I'm actually down at Ron's place. I'm in his game room right now while Ron is in the Page office about, I don't know, 50 to 75 feet away from me in another building, so our mics don't conflict with one another. But we've been and we're gonna have a staff work day tomorrow, so we're busy little beavers over here at Page HQ. But that does not going to deter us from not having a show this evening and having some fantastic special guests. We see people coming in the stream right now saying hello to everybody. Thanks to those folks that are joining us on our platforms that we stream across YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can join us on any of those outlets if you like to watch your streaming, your preferred platform. Just pick it there. Troy Ellman, hello. We've got Absolute Haven. I don't remember that name, seeing it in the past, but
that's J. Laurel Jennings is who that is.
Oh, I think I know her. Yes, and Zane McGowan. Hey, Zane, how's it going? And Ed Lopez has hopped in to say hello. So hello, everybody. We've got two great guests we're going to talk to this evening. We've got DM Angelo from DM and Friends, the YouTube channel that we're going to have a little chat with, right? And Tim Colonnia from Trenchcoat Minis will be joining us in a few short moments. And there is DM Angelo himself. Greetings, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys, at the Page headquarters, even though I'm far away, but thanks so much for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Good to see you and good to meet some of you guys too.
Yeah. And I do apologize. Were you with us last year at the show, or is this your first Page?
I had to back out last minute. I had a family crisis, I guess, if you want to call it. Actually, it wasn't a family crisis. I was in LA because of the LA fires that happened.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I had a home out there that I had to run to and clean up and stuff. We were in the burn area, but yeah, I missed last year, but man, I am super excited about coming this year. It's going to be my maiden voyage, and I know so many people there. I'm really excited to see you, Ron, and then God, there's a host of people that I haven't seen since for instance, Mornard. I haven't seen him since the early Gary Con days, Frank, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, can't wait. I haven't signed up for any games. I'm not running any games. I'm just going to wander around in awe with my mouth and my jaw wide open.
Well, you're going to have to play some games. We got how many games do we have now, Ron?
A lot. It's well over 1,000.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of special events.
Well, congratulations on hitting 2,000 attendees too. I think you got 2,000 badge sales. Was that the mark we hit?
Well, we're sitting at 2076 already, so we blew through 2,000.
Oh, so you blew through it. Wow.
Yeah, we're going to keep. It's going to keep going up. So, as far as events go, we have
I'm seeing 1164
Oh, as far as games, wow.
events on the schedule. It'd be
Yeah.
games, panels, contests. So
And we haven't finished putting in all of our autograph signings yet. So
that's true.
You mean you haven't finished putting them in yet?
Yeah, Phil and I. No, it's been crazy. I don't know, DM Angelo. You were saying you're not running or prepping any games. This year is kind of funny for me because I'm writing a sort of mini campaign, and I'm having other DMs writing it. And it's like the first time in over 20 years I've written an adventure for someone else to run at a convention. And
wow.
Trying to remember all the stuff that I don't just keep in my head and putting it down on paper has been kind of a challenging. So I've been trying to use the holiday break to finish that up. I was hoping to get them out to people by Thanksgiving, and I didn't manage that. So yeah, right now I've got 2 of the adventures are complete and out to the DMs. Got 1 more to do.
Wow.
And then I've got 1 that I'm just running myself. So that one I can shorthand a bit.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's sitting here going, really? I need 30 pages to tell people how to run a 3.5-hour adventure?
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's monster stats. I hate people having to reference books or anything, so I'm putting everything in there, like, photocopying stuff and everything. But yeah, it's crazy. I know when you do an adventure for a convention or for an event, how much prep work do you do?
For me, because I usually run, so I'm horrible if this last year at North Texas, I ran something for Chris Clark, and I made the mistake of staying up the whole night before. So I was dead, and I feel so bad for all the players. But so prep for that was, I read through it and I knew what to do and all that stuff. Generally, the games that I run, I know them in and out of my head because I've wrote them. I wrote them. And so that's kind of generally for me. So I've already prepped, hours and hours and hours in my head, writing it down and stuff like that. So I don't know if I could put a exact time on it, but for Chris for the last adventure I'm talking about, which was an epic fail because it just, I was dragging, but it's I would say, for something that's 30 pages like that, you probably need a good 4 to 6 hours of, for me, I'm a slow reader. So, but yeah, the great thing about D&D or any kind of game, I'm an AD&D player myself, and I to the core, that's what I cut my teeth on. But for me, if I run into something that I don't understand on the page, like I take that back. I've ran stuff where it's just off the cuff. You can just pull it right out of your, and just make it happen. That's the glory, I think, of role playing. In
my little guide to the mini campaign, that's basically the first thing I tell the DMs. Run what you're comfortable with. If you have to change things, go ahead. It's your game. Nobody's gonna know.
No, that's exactly the point. Nobody will know. You're gonna know, which is your worst critic is yourself. But that's funny. Yeah, it's super funny.
So I think this Jim Murphy is probably somebody from your channel. Yes. He's asking where and when the convention is, what and where is this convention. It's the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, and it's January 15th through the 18th in Oaks, Pennsylvania, which is suburban Philadelphia there, Jim.
It's right down there on the bottom of the screen.
Yep. Well, now I don't think he can see it. I don't think our overlay extends to Angelo's channl. So
it does. It does. I'm looking at it. It does.
Okay, so
we can drop a link.
He's just not the brightest bubble in the tree. Is that what you're saying? You're saying your watchers can't see stuff on the screen.
Oh no, is
that what you're saying?
I can see it. Maybe
Jim, you're embarrassing the GM, the DM and Friends fan base right now.
Fan base. Yeah, Jim is a great guy. I've been gaming with him for years. He's he has his own channel. He's known as Game Methuselah on on YouTube. He's been doing some really great stuff where he goes on and just talks about games, and more games. And yeah. And that's Fred. Fred, I've been gaming with him since I was 7. That's yep. Dreg, yes.
Now, Hammer brings up a good point. You know, guys, like please, if you're watching, check out our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. It's YouTube at Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo on YouTube. We appreciate that. No, we're not gonna ban Jim Murphy like we are Pickles, but we do have a Pickles update.
Let me guess. Pickles is still banned.
Oh my God.
Oh man, she's still banned. Look at that. I mean, boy, she's got less than 2 weeks to go. She's got 13 or 12 plus days to try to get a presidential pardon.
Do you still have the free pickle shirts?
The free pickle shirts are no longer available because they were for pre-order only, but those who did order them will get them at the convention.
I missed my window then. Well, I meant to order one.
I may or may not have an extra one if you're really nice. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll determine that as we go. So Pickles is still banned, but you never know. You never know. So
we need to do a Pickles shirt signed by Pickles in the auction. Pickles could poop on it, and then you can sell it in the auction.
Oh, Ed, hold on a minute. Hold on. Okay, now we've solved that. We've solved that suggestion problem.
Hilarious. I love it. Can't wait to meet you guys in a couple weeks.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, can't wait. Okay, I'll be sure to come by and say hi to everybody.
Yeah, we're going to be bringing Timothy Colonnia on from Trenchcoat Minis, and that's just one of the ventures he has. And this is his first year as a vendor at the convention, but we'll bring him in and we'll kind of go round robin, after a short interview here. Hey, Tim, how are you?
How are you? Good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you. So, Tim, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're bringing to Page with you?
Sure. So, Trenchcoat Minis, we're a 3D printing company that publishes a number of rule sets. We started out with a 15 millimeter sci-fi battle game in miniatures tabletop. We then also have a 28 mil sci-fi skirmish game. A historical 28 millimeter goes from World War I all the way up to moderns. And then that's called Tango Uniform. And then Tango Uniform Invasion is our newest flavor, and that is kind of pulpy 50s sci-fi, kind of like fighting out War of the Worlds or Invasion of the Saucer Men, army men versus gray aliens or Martians or something like that. So we got a lot of cool stuff, tons of terrain, tons of miniatures, starter sets, rule books. Trilateral, which is our flagship game, is our 15 millimeter sci-fi. We have over 40 factions for the game. Everything from humans to lizard men to Martians to space pugs to you name it, mushroom people, all kinds of craziness.
Listen, the space pugs can come in and try to liberate Pickles, who's a Boston Terrier, but they will be crushed at the door.
I'm gonna have to hit you up for the mushroom people because my mother-in-law, she loves everything mushroom.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, she's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds
everything mushroom.
Cool. She sounds like she liked to hang out with fun guys when she was
younger. Guys from yoga. Yes.
Yeah, we started out about 10 years ago, and we've just been on an upward trajectory, and we got lots of cool stuff.
That was a completely appropriate dad joke. It was completely appropriate.
Everybody just ignored it, appropriately ignored it.
I like it.
Right on.
We went about our business.
Jen turned all red.
I did.
Jen was drinking before the show again.
That's the alcohol turning her red. Busting those corpuscles.
Hey, it's Friday night.
So Tim, are you running demos at the show?
Yes, so we'll have demos in our booth for all of our games all weekend long. We're also running a big multiplayer game at 2:00 on Saturday, where you could just come and try out Trilaterum, our 15 mil sci-fi. We'll have tons of armies, lots of fun and shenanigans will be abound. We'll have giveaways, lots of cool stuff. Yeah. And then in the booth, we'll have demos all, like I said, all weekend long in 2-hour blocks. We've got demos that people could sign up for, and you can pick and choose which flavor of game you'd like to try. All of our rules is the same system. So we started out with the 15 mil sci-fi and then worked our way up, but they all use the same system. So once you learn one, you can play any of our games.
And with the demos at your table, people, even if they don't sign up, they can just, if you've got open time, they can walk up and play.
Absolutely. Come on by. We'll fit you in. We'll always make room to show you our games. Definitely.
Tim, why 15 millimeter?
Well, I've always been a fan of sci-fi. I cut my teeth back in the early 80s on BattleTech. That was my first miniatures game. And I loved the big stompy robots. Back in the early 90s, we were playing a lot of Flames of War, 15 mil World War II, and I just loved the scale. And I love sci-fi, and nobody was really doing 15 mil sci-fi. So I decided to write my rules. I found some manufacturers that I worked with early on in our infancy. And then when COVID hit, we kind of scrapped all of the lines that we were using and started from scratch. I have a wonderful sculptor over the UK that does all my sculpting, and we just started sculpting, and it's been just gangbusters. We've been, like I said, we have over 40 factions, all kinds of cool stuff. And yeah, I love 15 mil. It's just a fun scale to paint, fun scale to play in.
Originally the man models, the human models, there were a few BattleTech models put out, and they were real tiny. They were almost less than 15 millimeter back in the day. So
yeah, they're 6 mil.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's interesting. Tell people, most people these days are used to painting 28 or 32 millimeter miniatures. Tell them what what's an advantage to the smaller miniatures in terms of getting them to the table.
Well, I find that you can, one of our armies, typically a typical, army is about 1,000 points, and that comes out to about 10 stands of model. Each stand will have between 2 and 4 miniatures on it. And I find that with the 15 mil scale, you can paint through a whole army in a couple of sessions and be ready to go on the tabletop. My sculptor does a really good job with having good detail that's really deep cut, so that it takes paint well, it takes washes well, and especially the new contrast paints, it takes those very well. And being 15 mil, you've got detail, but you're not, painting every pouch and every crease and crevice on the model. You can really have a quick paint job, and they look great on the table.
Let's talk about paint real quick. One of our sponsors this year is the Too Thin Coats brand. And they're going to be hosting the paint and take. And have you used those paints at all? Have you had any success with those paints?
I've not used them. No. Okay. I'm always willing to try paints. I just haven't. My local shop, I haven't seen it in there yet.
Okay.
But I'll have to check them out at the show, definitely, and maybe I'll give them some minis for their paint and take.
Well, yeah, that would be great because it's they're sponsoring the paint and take, but it's the convention's paint and take that they're sponsoring. So yeah, any donations of miniatures are greatly appreciated for that. And
Sure.
you're definitely going to want to talk to Bob Watts, who's Transatlantic Games.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be Heartbreaker.
Yep.
Then you used to, he was the president of GWUS. He was the president of Rail Partha.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was Grenadier before that, and he's been around forever, and he's a local guy, and he's just a wealth of knowledge of the miniatures, the gaming miniatures industry, whether it be sci-fi or fantasy. Let me go shoot it over to DM Angelo or Jennifer. What questions do you guys have for Tim?
What made you first decide to go into the mini painting business and the games?
I started my, working with gaming companies back in the early 2000s. I worked part-time for GW I worked as an outrider for them. I also got picked up as an employee with Forge World, and I did shows with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I kind of slung resin for them. And then after that, I worked a little bit for Architects of War and Alien Dungeon, Ernie Baker's company. They put out Fantaside and All Quiet on the Martian Front. I worked on the All Quiet on the Martian Front project. So for as long as I can remember, I've always been into gaming. And like I said, when I started doing BattleTech, that's when I really started, miniatures and painting. And then as I was working with Alien Dungeon, working on All Quiet on the Martian Front, that really kind of was about the same time that I decided I wanted my own miniatures game, my own 15 mil game. And, my wife is hugely supportive. She just said, if that's what you want to do it. So I wrote the first set of rules. We went through playtesting for about a year. I then just had a rule book and use your own minis. And then 3D printing really started picking up, and it made it affordable for small businesses to have a line of miniatures of their own. And that's kind of how I started doing the miniature side of it.
That's awesome.
I've got a bank of about 10 printers in the basement that just go burr, burr, burr all day long. And, I pack the product all myself. It's pretty much just me and my wife and kids will help out where they can, but it's just me doing the production and all the rules and the print and that sort of thing.
I was going to ask about that. So it's mostly resin. You're not spinning metal. Okay.
No, it's all 3D printed, either 3D printed resin or FDM for the larger terrain pieces and larger pieces that are cost prohibitive in resin.
For one of your games, about how long is a typical session?
You can play a full-size game of Trilaterum in about an hour. Trilaterum Firefight, which is the 28 mil skirmish, as well as Tango Uniform Firefight. Half hour, 45 minutes, and you're ready to go for another game. They're very different. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, see, that's one of the things I think people have a misconception about the 15 millimeter war game space, because you remember like all the Napoleonics, all the games that you'd set up and play for days and everything.
Yeah.
And looking at your game, it's like, hey, I could not only can I play this in a short period of time, it also doesn't need a lot. I mean, I can carry it around in a backpack.
Yeah.
Everything I need.
Yeah. I sell my armies in a 6x9 box, and when you assemble all the miniatures, you can literally put them back in the box, and they all fit right in there on their bases. So It gives you kind of like a little carry case that you could put some foam on. We play every Wednesday night at our local shop up here in New Hampshire, and we're done in about an hour and 15, and we're ready to either play some cards or maybe even play another game sometimes.
You New Hampshire people, you never know what you guys are like falling out of trees on this program. Jen, you're in New Hampshire, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Okay.
really? That's great.
Plastow.
Oh, Plastow. I'm in Derry, so.
No kidding. Oh wow,
Yeah.
we're not far away. That's
No,
cool.
I gave it Midgard. That's where we go. So.
Okay.
But I go over to Tabletop Nexus a lot too. So.
Awesome.
Angelo, what questions do you have?
Yeah, you mentioned 15 mil. How tough is that for after a print of those to extract and kind of clean up, or do they come out pretty clean?
Oh, they come out super clean.
Do they really? That's awesome.
I've been doing this a long time, so I've got my supporting down pretty good, and you may have to clean up one or two little nubs, but in general they're ready to go. And most of my miniatures are single piece, so you really just have to glue them onto the base. Some of the larger minis are multi-piece, but I try to avoid separate arms, legs, heads, that sort of thing, especially at 15 mil. So they're usually multi-poses.
Want to just real quick, I want to welcome our good friend Leo Gerald to the audience. Thanks for joining us, Leo. You're a great guy, and looking forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, welcome for sure. Yeah, I was gonna, if you don't mind, I was gonna ask you, do you do all your STLs and do you kind of do all the design on them, or are these?
So I do some of the straight line work, the vehicles and that sort of thing. I have some background in AutoCAD, so I do some
good
buildings, that sort of things I design. But anything organic, I have, like I said, I have a sculptor over in the UK.
Got it.
She has Red Nobular is her Patreon, but
nice.
She does a great job. She originally published the Wasteman Rules, and did all the miniatures for that, which is a post-apocalyptic. But I kind of hooked up with her during COVID, and
hey!
It's just
this is a PG program.
Hooked up online. She's over in the UK, so long distance, that sort of thing.
Nice.
But yeah, we started working together, and it's been a great relationship. She does wonderful work. And then I have tons of lines that I've purchased over the years that I print as well and sell in the booth. I have so many miniature lines, terabytes upon terabytes of miniatures.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We have a little experience with 3D miniatures as well. There you see, you see good old Phil there. He's been rebuilt after a tragic accident due to the negligence of the geek preacher, Derek White, who will be on trial at Page for his for assault and battery on Phil E. Cheesesteak. We've got several trials going on at Page. We have the Pickles trial. We have the Derek White trial. And of course, we have the egg theft trial, where we're putting Wes Allen on on trial for stealing eggs that were brought for his charity auction at his convention. They never made the auction block. Saul Blair is going to be at Page. I don't know if you know him at all, but he's a miniature sculptor, 3D miniature sculptor in Maine there.
Oh, okay.
And he actually does a lot of the miniatures for Brian Shutter's Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland games and the spin-offs to that.
Yeah, I know that game.
Yeah. So they have a miniatures game called Roller Brawl, which I proudly have the prototype for in my game room where Phil is sitting. So
I'm looking for it. I'm looking around for it.
The map is on the table right in front of you. That white,
the white hex map.
I had to pull it off its backing board because it was starting to wrinkle. So we're gonna fix that. But yeah, so we're gonna get rid of Phil here. Let's see if we can kill Phil. There we go.
I thought you were going to tell me that Pickles got a hold of Phil.
Don't kill Phil until we load the trucks tomorrow.
Trucks are loaded. It's mostly getting stuff into piles because we have to get things sorted out and into piles, and we have to pull through the returns from last year's show and make sure we're getting everything. So it's it's a work in process. We're going through growing pains. So let's see what's going on. Oh, my own wife's saying there was no theft. She wasn't even there. You don't know. That's conjecture is what that's called. All right. So at this point, we normally go to the crowd to see if the crowd has any questions for our guests or any questions for anybody from the page crew here. I'd like to see a DM Angelo Blind Bard collaboration after page, a little bit of maybe a joint program one day.
Sure.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms. Is your mother-in-law coming to page?
No.
Okay. Because
No,
Chet Mitten said he wanted to be a fun guy. He said that in the the audience. He said that.
That's cute. No, but I might get some for her anyway, because gotta get presents for next Christmas.
Let's make that note. Let's make that note that the blind bard called Chet Mitten cute today.
Oh, come on.
Oh, see?
Actually,
Chet likes mushrooms too.
Mm-hmm. Actually, knock on wood, I'm getting a sweatshirt made with the logo that he printed for me. So I'm hoping to be able to wear it at Page.
Oh, well, there you go. That's nice. That's good that Chet made that logo for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chet's working hard. He's working on a comic book today. He's working on concoction stuff next week. He's working on OSR Con art. He's working on Orange Cat Games stuff. I mean, he's really suffering under the yoke of all the creators that want him and all the convention organizers that need a third tier artist's help. I mean, it's really, really incredible.
Yeah, but he can handle it.
Oh yeah. He's super.
He's that good.
He's the best.
He's popular.
He's the best. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ron, quick question. I haven't looked for maybe 2 days or so. How is the Kickstarter going?
The Kickstarter. That's a good question. We can taste our first. I
think I saw a post about a stretch goal.
We can taste the first.
Away.
Yeah, we're close. Let's see. Kickstarter. Orange Cat Games. We are $46 away. Only $46 away from reaching the first stretch goal, which will create the module. It will produce a PDF adventure, the same adventure for Castles and Crusades, Troll Lord Games' system. And we have somebody from Troll Lord Games helping us write that. And we're $46 away. So, I'll make everybody a deal. Whoever pushes us over the top and gets us over the top, we will throw a $25 Troll Lord Games credit to their online store to you. All you need to do is do a little pledge, get us over $12,000, $46. You can easily do that, and you'll get back 25. It's pretty big. So if you do that and you're in the chat, call it out, and we'll get you a discount code or a $25 credit code so you can shop on Trollord Games' website. Chet says print on demand through drive-through after the Kickstarter as well. So if you want it printed, you can go ahead and print it.
Very
so
cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got to tell you, I don't want to spend too much time talking about the Kickstarter this close to Page, but I mean, me and Chet and Jen Glazer, we're over the moon about the support it's gotten for a simple adventure module on our first Kickstarter, our first go around. You know, I don't think any of us thought it would do as well as it's doing. So, you know, thank you for everybody, and thank you if anybody pushes it over the top. You know, if you do it, just count it out. Oh, Leo's looking for the link. Here's the link to the Kickstarter. There it is right there. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of good stuff. I wrote the adventure. Chet did all the art. And Jen Glazer tells Chet and I, no dummies. You can't do that when we try to do something that, you know, will lead us to financial peril. So, you know, she keeps us in line. She's actually the brains behind the operation. It's got nothing to do with me or Chet. But yeah, no, we appreciate all the support. And if you happen to be the one who pushes it over, you know, just post in the chat, and we'll make sure we push that out to you. Now let's see what we have here. There's a question about merchandise pre-orders. You can't order any more pickle shirts. They've been taken down from the website because we only ordered what was pre-ordered, and it was a short window. And I got a couple of extras for people who forgot to order. But other than that, we're going to have less than 2 dozen of those. But everything else we have that's available on the website, we'll have stock people. You know, you can order those up to right before the show. If anything gets dangerously low, then it'll get removed from the website because it'll be out of stock. So, it just went over $12,000. Who did it? Oh,
Michael
from Pittsburgh pushed us over. That's awesome. Thank you. And we have a question for Michael. Thank you. And thank you. You know, Michael is coming through big time for Page. He put in to volunteer like 14 shifts at the convention, and you know, what a great guy. We really appreciate him coming out, and you know, thank you, Michael.
Awesome.
And Michael, I'll shoot you over the code right after this. But I will say this, anybody else who puts in during the program and calls it out will also give you a $25 gift card. That is Ed. Ed just sent me a little chat message. That is not Michael DiBenedetto. He is in Mexico right now, probably blind drunk.
I was wondering because I got a message from him the other night, and so saying he was in Mexico, and I was like, "Really? He's tuning in from there?"
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back soon. So you know, and he's got his gun-toting cousin over at his house. If anybody's thinking about going to rob him, so
he's one of the GMs for the Colonnia.
Yeah. Okay. Now I take exception to this. So my wife is an amazing woman. She's an author. She's a permaculturist. She's a massage therapist. She works with cancer patients. She teaches classes. She's got multiple degrees, all this stuff. But I can't get a shoulder rub out of her. But now Jen says there's a free shoulder rub for Michael in chat for working all those volunteer shifts. No, I'm you see this? This is the boycott stamp. That's the boycott stamp. No. Okay, so we have a question. We have several questions coming in. And the first question is from Brain X Optional. He's got a question for DM Angelo. What's the question there?
It was further down.
I think it was further down. You got to scroll down a little bit.
I got to scroll down.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it too because I'm looking at the chat coming in. Sorry about that.
No.
Yep,
there's no question.
Yep. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't see the question.
It says when you DM Angelo, when you first find a new system, what's the biggest holdback for you when you're getting into it? Too little choice, too much choice in character creation? Question mark.
That's odd. I don't see that.
It's right under DM Leo Gyrod saying much love to chat.
Okay.
So
I don't see that either. I'm missing chats.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I missed it.
Oh, okay. So that's further up. It's further up. It's not further down. So his question was further up. Question to DM Angelo: when you, when you first find
I see it now.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's this question for DM Angelo. When you first find a new system, what's the biggest holdback for you when you're getting into it? Too little choice, too much choice in character creation, etc., etc. Wow, that's a loaded question for me because I am a bona fide first edition, old school. I don't know how I would describe it as PG, but that's what I play. I play old school stuff. I don't really play a lot of newer system stuff. Now, let me tell you this. Let's say if I want to remember how to play Star Frontiers or something like that, what's the biggest holdback? It's just sitting down, getting the time to go over it, getting the players that are willing to jump on a new system. That's my kind of take on that. I do find that a lot of the newer, and I'm going to contradict myself because, but I'm just not super attracted to a lot of the newer school stuff out there. I don't want to do an edition wars, but I'm just going to be honest. My cha-cha is AD&D, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Did you have another question for him? I
think he said to the guests.
Yeah, he said he had another question for the guests.
Come here, Dash.
Well, I got to tell you, DM Angelo, I'm a an AD&D first edition Thaco guy myself. So
yeah, I love it. I not that I shy away from any, because I'll play any game. Mm-hmm. This is what what I kind of where I kind of land, and I know this goes, kind of creators are going to be like, ugh, I have a game that I could put any kind of thing into, you know what I mean? And for me to learn, it sounds horrible. I mean, a lot of the new stuff now too is super similar too. It's kind of using that shift back to old school, and so it's not super hard to really kind of jump right into it. Think of Shadow Dark. Think of it's really so modeled after BX or AD&D, or I don't really see a huge holdback. I think where if you go back to the second edition days where they had 3 million splat books, right? Hey, I used some of them and I liked them, but there's a feat. But for me, that's what house ruling is. That's what expanding on your own is. You know what I mean? To me. So I love it. I love it. But yeah, I don't see a real. I don't really see a an issue with getting into it. It's really just for me because I'm such a busy guy with work and this and that and blah blah blah. It's really sitting down and going through it, and then getting other players to also go through the rules and go through the
Sure.
Yeah.
So
For me, yeah. Go ahead.
So real quick, so BrainX Optional says, apologies, my messages aren't getting through appropriately. I guess this has been a general question. As a creator myself, just wondering where people are coming from. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's a great question, though. It's a really great question. I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I mean, I love the thing about I'm going to tell you, like I said, I'm the wrong person to ask because just come over here. When I was 7, 6, 7, 8 years old, I went to bed with this book. Do you know what I mean? I fell asleep with it in my lap.
Oh, so you're a newbie.
Yeah. So do you know? Yeah. So do you know what I mean? Like so the nostalgia for this right here is and this is probably, you can see how destroyed this is. The nostalgia for that, nothing can compare to that. Nothing.
Sure.
Nothing can compare to that. Does that mean I don't play other games? Like there's, for instance, one that comes off the top of my head, which is a new one, is Chris Clark's Lance. I love that. I love the sci-fi aspect of it. I love it's Metamorphosis Alpha on steroids. You know what I mean? So yeah, but that right there, as far when you asked me a game, you said I go right to fantasy. And like OSR, and I have the game. You know what I mean?
So I've got a question. You mentioned Chris Clark, and what a treasure of knowledge about the gaming industry and some of the great characters in the gaming industry. And I know he co-hosts your program with you sometimes. And yeah. I have a question. Has he attempted at all to solicit? He really wants his daughter to bear him grandchildren. Has there been any soliciting on your program where he has attempted to find someone to, one, knock off his daughter's current boyfriend?
Yeah.
And then two, like, make some grandkids?
Well, I don't know whether I'm at liberty to say anything, but Chris is a dear friend of mine, and he is actually a co-host to the DM and Friends. We do a live stream every Thursday night. Please, you guys go on there and check it out. If I can, I'll talk about the channel a little later. But Chris is a really amazing guy. He's such. You're right. He's such a treasure for knowledge. I mean, he gamed with Gary. He worked with Gary. He was, Tim and do you know what I mean? Like his whole take on stuff, he drives me crazy about some things, but I love the man. And as far as your question, I know I'm long-winded, but because I'll talk to you offline about it, but
that's a confirmation. Listen, I'll just fill in the blanks. That's
guilty as charged, right? This face told all of it.
That's a confirmation. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. He was trying to get that done over there.
Yeah. He's definitely I enjoy my time. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I see him every North Texas, and he actually he's the cleric in my gaming group that I run on Monday nights.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we got a whole slew of we have a weekly game that I run, and my campaign is called Hamlet Dark. So I'm a Greyhawk person. I don't know if you guys can see that about me, but I love the world, love the open-endedness of the world, love the community. The community is really what sparked me to start my channel and really kind of talk about being a better dungeon master. But yeah, he's a great guy. We have a really fun time. Those of you guys, to plug him a little bit, those of you guys have ever gotten a chance to play Inner City, we're talking about other games, but Inner City is a cops and robbers game like Starsky and Hutch of the 70s. That's a fun time if you ever get a chance to play that with him.
And Chris will have all this stuff at
He's
Page.
He's
Yes.
running Lance, and I think Inner City. Yeah, he's bringing a couple. He's really big on dioramas and visuals, so I think he's actually going to be bringing some pretty amazing.
Jennifer, wake up!
Am I boring you?
No, she drinks heavily.
No, I've been up since
she drinks heavily before the program.
I love it.
I've been up since like 4:30. So
she gets a little sloppy, and then she starts dozing off.
Angelo, you mentioned Greyhawk, and again, a sort of a blatant plug for Page, but I don't know if you know if there's a ton of Greyhawk programming at Page.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing
Legends of Greyhawk. And we're also going to have some people at Page who worked on.
Yeah.
Well, we have. I mean, listen, we have Jay Scott, who's going to be at. Who's running an entire room at Page just about Greyhawk, that's just Greyhawk related. So we have a lot of Greyhawk going on at Page. The Greyhawk Grognard's there as well.
Yep, Joe will be there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And listen, everybody's got their, we've got Darlene.
Yeah,
going to be there. The original cartographer. And there's a question from the chat, and this is a good question. What do you think? What are your thoughts on WotC's new version of Greyhawk?
Ooh, can we be candid here?
Have you seen it?
Can we be candid? It's only candid.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm going to probably be hated for my comments on it, but I love the Greyhawk community. Anything moving it forward is awesome. I just don't understand why we needed to change genders of rulers and things like that. So that's my take. I don't understand. I think they were trying to make some people happy. I mean, there's no reason to make Wilfred a Willa. I don't know. Why did we have to change stuff like that? So, yeah.
It's fair. I mean, it's not, obviously different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah.
Michael in chat says, well, it's just a reset, correct?
Yeah, it was a reset, but it was a change of names that I just didn't really understand. Like, why did we have to do that? There was an agenda on it. I don't know. That's just me. But I love that it's bringing more people. I mean, look at DM's Guild. It's blowing up with Greyhawk because of the rekindling in the DMG. The Player's Handbook. So I think it's awesome. I think it's super awesome. I just don't understand some of the tweaks that happened with it. But yeah.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is we've also got a midpoint of that. When I was working at TSR and Wizards on 3rd edition, two of the designers who worked on the Greyhawk for 3rd edition, because I don't know how many people know this, but Greyhawk was the default world for the 3rd edition relaunch. Sean Reynolds and Eric Mona are both going to be guests at Page, and they both worked on the 3rd edition version of Greyhawk.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that whole era of the third edition was awesome. I mean, it was super awesome. It was a whole kind of a new renaissance for Greyhawk. I mean, continuation of 2nd edition and all the RPGA stuff, and I think it was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think anything Greyhawk to me is awesome. The fact that they're pushing it forward and more people are now coming to it, and there's a resurgence for the old stuff, like the kind of the old lore, and wow, this god, and I'm going to go buy this, you can get it, I think on RPG, DM's Guild or whatever, the old copies of with the old lore in it, the old folio. I think it's I think it's all good. It's all good. For me personally, I just didn't understand the need to change weird things like that. To me, it's just kind of, I don't know. But Wizards is doing quite a bit of weird stuff. So.
Got you. All right. What other questions do we have for our folks here? Jen, do you have any questions? Phil?
Go ahead.
I had,
Go ahead.
so you had mentioned that you play a first edition. That's like your go-to. But when we talk about some of the retro clones that have come out that have tweaked some of the AD&D rules,
Sure.
like Adventures Dark and Deep, for instance.
I love it. Love the system.
Yeah.
Love
So
it.
is that because Joe's tweaked some stuff or added some things that that he feels would have likely been a natural evolution of the system. I was curious your thoughts on things like first edition retro clones.
Yeah, I mean, because I know Adventures Dark and Deep pretty well, and I know Joe really well, and I think what his whole idea about Adventures Dark and Deep was, this is what Gary would have thought it was going to be a second edition if he stayed in TSR, and so he has a really awesome skill system where skills are bought through XP, not just handed out like candy. You know what I mean? Because you have a non-weapon proficiency. If you look at Adventures Dark and Deep, Thaco is still there. Literally all the tables are not identical, but he's got a lot of tweaks in there. But his skill system and the way he redid the Bard and some of the classes, it was the evolution. I like that you said the evolution of that, of how AD&D should be or could have been or something like that. And I see that a lot of those, Castle Crusades and, what Jeff did with Hyperborea, I played that for quite a bit. I think they're super awesome. And I really do. ADD is really good. Adventures Dark and Deep, I think he hit it right on the money. I wish there was, and he's actually getting ready to do a Kickstarter for some stuff on there. But I love his system. I wish more people played it. I
actually ran his Swords of Wuxia. I ran a campaign.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
Here. We used a modified AD&D first edition module, and just I peppered in all the Chinese style location and map and everything and monsters that were appropriate, but we still were using his modified version of AD&D plus all the kung fu, and we really had just like a kind of like Shaw's Brothers kind of thing going on, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so it's a great system. He writes great rules. I actually met him at TotalCon. TotalCon is up here in Mass, and he was at one a few years ago, and I picked up. It was originally the Golden Scroll of Justice or something, and then he redid it as Swords of Wuxia. And I picked those up from him, and I ran it. It was a blast. He does a really good job because it really still captures the flavor of, AD&D first edition.
Yeah, I think there's more similarities than there are differences, but I think the differences that he did put in there really reflect. And I love like I said a second ago, I love that you said the evolution, because I think it is a step forward. How second edition would have been, because his skill system alone is like mind-blowing to me. I think it's so right on the dot, because I don't know if we want to talk technical here about the mechanics, but I don't think that just because you raise a level you should get a skill, or what I mean. Oh, now I have tracking. Well, there should be a pay for that. There should be a pay, and that's experience, which I think is super. He hit it right on the nail. Hit the nail right on the head. Yeah, that's the right phrase. But or saying. But definitely, man. And that's the big example I have is Adventures Dark and Deep, and then same thing with Jeff Talarian's game. He basically it's AD&D to me, but I like how he combined the classes, fighter, magic user.
He has a very unique class system.
Yeah.
For Hyperborea, I really like it.
Yeah.
A lot, and he did a great job with that.
It's a great job, and the setting's amazing too.
Yeah. And interestingly, Phil and I were just talking about this today, and I was talking about it with Chet as well, that Monolith, this came out, they just fulfilled their Conan the Hyborian Age RPG, and that is there aren't classes. You've got backgrounds, and then you use experience points to buy skills or upgrade skills. And it doesn't railroad people to only do certain things. Like you don't have to be just a fighter. You can be just a fighter, but if you want to be a fighter that can, have some stealth stuff, you can do that. In some cases, some backgrounds, you're not going to have access to wizardry or sorcery, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because there's still so many other skills that you purchase with your experience points. Like, you don't go up levels. There's no levels. It's just your skills progress. Yeah. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. To kind of go back to Jeff Talarian's world, to me, it's not a huge jump to like, oh, how do I play this game? But I really love the things that he did, where he did combine, the classes and make it in the whole setting he had is so grand. I mean, it's such a, his map, his world, and it just gives me this, I love it. I played a lot of Hyperborea. How about you guys? What are you guys currently playing?
I'm an AD&D 2nd edition guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
But right now we're playing in a few things. We have a Shadow Dark campaign.
Okay.
We have a Conan campaign, which I'm super stoked about.
Wow. I love Conan.
Yeah, we have we also play the Walking Dead universe game.
Oh, how is that?
I like it. It's another game. You don't go up levels. You use experience points to do things with your skills. You get to pick it's a background based game.
Okay.
But you can buy your skills. You can pick your attributes, and I'm having a load of fun with it. And I love the way it lends itself to campaign play, because you know what? If the 6 of us are in the campaign and Jen can't make it because she's been on one of her benders and she's too drunk to show up, the game can continue, because it's kind of like a very modular game. Like, if you're part of like you have your own base of operations, we'll call it, you have your own haven. Like, our group has like a small farm that we've been fortifying. Well, you go out and you do things from the farm, and then you get back, right? But if somebody's not there, they're just at the farm, working on getting a well pump running or whatever it is.
That makes sense.
So it really works, and you can add people in and out.
Kind of like the TV series. Kind of like the shows.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
That's what we're doing too. We're playing Fantasy Flight games, Star Wars.
Oh, and wow.
I love it. I can't get enough of the characters. We're even creating a playlist, so that each session we create new songs, and it's just for game. And it's fun. So I can bring it with me wherever I go.
So that's funny. That's kind of a click on the question that was asked earlier, because Fantasy Flight I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I like the old D6 and played the heck out of that. The old D6 Star Wars,
Yep.
West End Games. Fantasy Flight, Star Wars, I could never wrap my head around the dice system.
It's weird, right? Because you
It
can
is so weird.
fail triumphantly. The first game I ever played with my husband and his friends, I failed with a triumph and a despair, and I blew everybody up. It was a total party kill in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
Oh no.
Me personally, I'm not a fan of specialty dice in any game, really.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Well,
I really wish that somebody actually explained Fantasy Flight, because I thought they did a really good job on presentation and just the kind of the timing that it came out was just, I don't know, it was interesting, but I just wish somebody had sat down, because I played it a couple of times, but I still was like mind blown in how this worked. And maybe I wish I would have had somebody kind of tell me like, hey, this is how it's done. But
yeah. Well, the first time I tried it, I didn't get it either, and then I really started to understand it because my husband, like, that's his favorite system. He absolutely loves it, and now he's kind of got me into it too. So I kind of understand, even though I can't really see the dice. But one of the best things about the system is there's all these skill trees, and you can spend experience every week if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. So it's like you level up every time, which is nice.
So you bring up Star Wars. One of our guests at the show, Bill Slavicek, who's also a friend of mine. We both work at ZeniMax Online Studios. Bill, of course, worked on the original D6 Star Wars and the D20 Star Wars, as did I. And he has been running a steampunk in space D6 game. He's constantly tweaking the old D6 system and adding new genres to it. We've played now the steampunk game. We played a dark fantasy game. We played a Weird West game. He's constantly rolling out new tweaks to the system. I think someday he hopes to actually publish it, but he's too busy with everything else. And then I've been running a 5e game set in my own homebrew campaign setting.
Nice.
And I've been playing a couple of different Daggerheart games because I wanted to try that out because everybody was talking about it. And that's been kind of interesting. It's kind of funny to hear you talk about the Fantasy Flight Star Wars thing, because definitely Daggerheart has some similarities to that.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you guys have like a favorite gaming memory that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I guess I could start here. The first thing, I always like to kind of go with the first thing that comes to mind. I'm the type of person, and I will back up from that. I remember my first dice roll. I remember the first time I ever rolled a dice, and that was when I was 7 years old. I remember it vividly. I could smell the room. I could taste the dice as it came off my hand. I remember that. Now, there's a buddy of mine who just passed away. His name's Eric Coe. He was in my gaming group for 15 years. Really, really great gamer. And I've talked about him on my channel and, the DM and Friends. Really, really great guy. I was taking them through Q1, which is the Demon Web Pits. And they were at the very end fighting Loth. His character just so happened to have the Mace of St. Cuthbert in his hand. Okay. And he was face to face with Loth. And if you guys know anything about the artifact, that's the Mace of St. Cuthbert, it's a Mace of Disruption too. So he rolls. We're all around my table in my gaming room. He rolls a dice. 20. The whole room erupted. And he he's a really big guy, and he literally did a backflip. I mean, it was one of those moments where I heard from him every single day for 2 weeks. oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, is those type of moments that I will cherish, that memory of him I will cherish forever, because such a great guy. And it was awesome to see this old man get so happy and lose his mind. And that's all he talked about for 2 years, for two weeks. But that's my biggest memory of just sharing that moment with my friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because D20s, like getting a 20 is kind of rare. I mean, I almost never get them.
Especially against Loth when you needed to at that moment, because the rest of the party was dying. And I think she actually, I don't know, I don't remember the outcome of it because it was such a long, a couple of years back. But such a that's why I play D&D. I'm there with my friends. I'm living these moments that I'll remember for the rest of my life together.
Yeah.
That's why I love what I do. And that's really why I started this channel too, is I really just want to kind of reach out and form friendships and community, help the community, any kind of advice, or, even like, what you guys are doing, had Ron on there so he could push his Kickstarter and, reach for you guys a little bit more, anything we can help to kind of build together. I think that's really what this is all about. And that's why I love D&D. It's just the community, the friends I've gained over the years. Cause I know I'm long-winded here, but 2025 for a lot of people was a MFer. It was a really tough year for a lot of people, including myself. And what got me through it was my friends.
Yeah.
And that really, really, I don't know if I'm sure you guys can relate, and I'm sounding all mushy and whatever, but that is really what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Making connections and making friends. It's like, that's part of the reason I started my channel too, is to make friends with other people who love the game and spread awareness about blindness too. Like, not many people know that there can be, like, you can play the game blind, like completely blind.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet you.
I can't wait to meet you either.
I cannot wait to meet you.
So great.
Look at this. This is what we're talking about. And that's the awesome thing. I talked with Jim Murphy we had on the show, and he's really big on the whole friend aspect, but I can go to any con. I can go to any game store, and that commonality that we have with each other, we can talk forever about it. And next thing you know, for a minute, we're best friends. And you know what I mean? If it goes any further than that, later on, that's awesome. But at that moment, we're right there in the universe. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, exactly right. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times, right? 1,000 times on different live streams. During COVID, the gaming community was killing each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So
for me, I there's two things. One is my company related, and one is personal. One of the things about our miniatures is when you see them in person is they're very pulpy and very, they're a very unique style that's very retro sci-fi, like something that's jumping off the old pages of, amazing stories or something like that. So when I have a customer come in and they pick up an army pack and look at the minis, and you could see them just chuckle to themselves, that makes me feel great, because I've hit a nerve, and I've definitely hit that nostalgia, or they like what they see, and that's very touching to me. And like, kind of like you said, you're making friends because you're reaching out and giving them something that they never even knew they wanted. I mean, most people don't know that they wanted space bugs, but when they see them, they go, "Yeah, that's
awesome.
what I need."
That's awesome.
And my personal gaming story is the first time I was running the kids through. I have two children, a son and a daughter. They're both in their early 20s now, But the first time I ran them through AD&D First Edition, we were running kind of a modified Temple of Elemental Evil kind of thing that I was doing. And so they went into this old decrepit area of a kitchen, and my son says we go in the kitchen, and I say, well, what do you guys do in the kitchen? And he says, I roll to detect bacon. And I'm like, sure, roll a die. Natural 20. You found some bacon. Congratulations, son. So then fast forward about 45 minutes, they run into some dire wolves, and what does my son do? He takes out the bacon to try to enchant the dire wolves to be their companions. Okay, make a roll. What does he roll? He rolls a 20. So now they have dire wolf companions, and it was the funniest thing ever. And we, to this day, we roll to detect bacon. It's just something that the family is, that heartwarming, fun gaming, memory,
Timothy, that is an awesome story, man. And that's what I'm talking about, man. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Those moments that now are normal for you. Like, are just will it's just a great inside joke that you had to be there. And man, that is so, dude, thanks for sharing that, dude.
Yeah. No, my kids are great. And my son, he really has caught the RPG bug. He's in a number of campaigns at school that he does either online or in person. He's doing a LARPing group. My daughter didn't quite catch the bug, but she loves the lore of all that stuff. So she's an avid reader and loves everything to do with fantasy, and so
it's just so fun. You can use your imagination and do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yes, yeah. So those are my good happy moments in gaming,
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people know, I teach high school for a living, and I run a D&D club at my school, even though we don't really play D&D. Yeah, we don't play D&D anymore. We play Shadow Dark, because it's a lot more accessible for the kids than learning 5e D&D.
Yeah.
Which I know very, very well. I played every edition but 4th. And so I know them all. But they are building memories. What I do sometimes is when they're not, I don't GM for them. Like, they have enough of their own GMs. So I'm just kind of like monitoring the back of the room, but sometimes I'll just get my phone out and I'll secretly, film them playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back and watch it, and then I'll show it to them later. And they're like, you see the same thing that happened to most of us, and not all of us, when we were younger. We played, you see these kids sitting around literally in a different century than when you and I had these experiences.
Yeah.
Decades into the future from when we had these experiences, but it's the same thing. Like, I could show you videos of kids having the same exact conversations, reactions, enthusiasm, not looking at a cell phone. Like, I do have to work with them on like table etiquette sometimes, and I'm kind of like a little bit of a jerk about it. But when they don't realize, like, hey guys, if you go, like, some of my students come to Page, for instance, I get them badges. And I'm like, listen, if no GMs and DMs will get very distracted if you're just sitting there waiting for your turn. You need to be more engaged, and you need to have each other's backs, and it's not just about like your turn. And so, but when they realize that if the session's good, and I've got kids who they want to go by the book, like every encounter, everything's got to be all the box text, like everything by the book. And then I've got other GMs where like they could literally care less about what, the adventure is like a guideline. And I run all of the tables through all of the same adventure at the same exact time to see like how different of an experience each third or fourth table of it's like 3 or 4 tables are having.
Yeah.
And They're radically different.
Right.
Radically different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
You know-
question in chat. I just need a quick answer.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Michael in chat was asking about prototyping. Yes, I do prototyping all the time for people. So just feel free to reach out and we can get your game pieces prototyped. No problem.
That's awesome.
Trenchcoatminis.com, trilaterum.com, all comes to me.
Mhm.
Can I say something, Phil, to
Sure.
jump on what you were saying? Two things. You talked about running games for kids, and you know I've done a lot of that, and it's very every time it's so unique and so interesting. And I like that you're keeping that in your mind. Remember that we were kids once too, playing the game, and it's always very interesting running kid games. You know, games for kids or even kids with their parents or whatever. But that's a very interesting thing. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for everybody to pay attention. They're not you're waiting for you got to wait for your turn or whatever. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm glad you're doing that. That's really cool, man. The other thing too is I just did a video, not to shamefully plug myself in my ear, but I did a video recently on keeping your players engaged, and that's talking about with kids. That's a whole new ball game.
Yeah,
this is like our group here. Like somebody brings their phone out or whatever, but you might have somebody doing cartwheels.
Yeah, I always say to the kids real quick, if you're losing the table, blow something up. Like literally, just if you're losing the table, boom, a gigantic explosion. You know where it came from. They're like, woo. Yeah. Do something like that right off the bat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
One of my favorite when I went to a show, this GM was doing this. Instead of miniatures on the table, she had all the monsters were starbursts, and you got to eat what you killed, and that kept everyone's attention. Because everybody wanted the starbursts.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
One of the things we do at our table is we do like little vignettes because, one of my friends, Matt, he's like, if it doesn't come out on the table, if it's not, if you want something in your backstory to come out at the table, you have to make it happen. So, secrets are great, but if they don't show up at the table, why even have it?
Right.
So we've started doing like little vignettes and we kind of go round robin and it keeps everyone engaged.
Yeah. Jen Glazer's asked me if that doesn't mean, am I saying flip the table? Like, well, maybe not to that dramatic degree, but metaphorically, yes.
Yeah.
So much so. Yeah.
I think I'm back. Am I still all choppy?
A little bit. You just chopped a second ago. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. It's got to be the computer. It can't be the network anymore.
Yeah, because Ron and I are in the same network.
Yeah.
And Ron's been experiencing a little choppiness the last couple weeks.
Do you have anything running in the background that's messing with video or something?
No, not particularly.
I'm a tech guy, so that's why the whole tech side came out of me.
Well, I'll talk to you about it offline, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is. I took it off. I had a little Wi-Fi node, and then I was running a cable off the Wi-Fi node to the PC, running it through there. But I disconnected that and turned off the Wi-Fi node, and now I'm pulling from the outdoor.
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
You're a little choppy, dude. Your every fifth word is kind of.
It's no good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Getting a couple more.
A lot of
great response
talk about kids and kids gaming in the chat. I try to, especially like when I was developing my game, I tried to make it so that it was easy to learn, yet there's enough crunchiness that you can, difficult to master kind of thing, that you can learn how to play the game within 5 to 10 minutes, but there's enough crunchiness and that sort of thing that you could really do some interesting things tactically on the tabletop. And it really works well with kids. I have a lot of kids at my tables, especially when I do multiplayer events. dads bringing kids. And that's, the kids are our future. I mean, if we're not getting the kids playing, these hobbies will die off. I was just at it's funny. I was just at a train convention a couple of months ago at the Shrine is down in Mass, and you look across this sea of people, and there wasn't anybody under the age of probably 60 out there doing the train things, and that's sad because it's such an interesting hobby that if we don't get the kids in it, they're gonna die off. It's gonna die off as a hobby. So that's why I think one thing about gaming is that the more we can do to keep these kids engaged, keep these kids interested in our games and coming back to the tabletop, laughing, having fun, saying, "Oh, did you see me get that roll?" Or one of the things in my systems is it's a re-rolling mechanic that when you get successful hits, you can re-roll, but if you make a bad roll on a subsequent, you roll on this chart, and half is good and half is bad. One of them, you could blow yourself up. You could shoot the guy next to you, or you could get another round of shooting. And kids just love it. They're playing like it's Vegas. They're like, one more time, one more time, one more time, pressing that luck and no whammies, and that's just great to see because getting kids excited about games is what it's all about.
I have to tell you, a few weeks ago, I was at a local game store, Games and Stuff. They're also going to be at.
Oh yeah, Jeff. I'm good friends with Jeff. He runs it.
Yeah.
So
I was down. Well, just for the audience who may not know, but I was down there. We're having a intro game day. It was all directed at people who had not really played D&D before or other games, and I was asked to run 3 sessions, each about 2 hours long, for basically kids. Almost all the players were around 10 years old, and most of them had been brought there by parents, some of whom sat in on the game, some of whom didn't. There were a few older people who hadn't played at all, but I gotta say, excuse me, they of course were extremely enthusiastic, which was nice, because nothing's worse than running a game for people who don't want to play, and they were very into it. But the other thing, one of the things that Paul and Jeff gave me was the new 5e starter set, which is extremely well done. A terrific way to introduce people to gaming because it treats the DM as if they're new as well. And I think that's always been one of the problems. Back when I was working on 3rd edition, we of course released a couple of starter sets during the 3E and 3.5 times, and I thought they were improvements over some of the other stuff we've done. But I can remember standing in the focus test room with the design team, particularly Jonathan Tweet, and I don't know if you guys have ever done like a formal focus test, but you sit behind the big, one-way mirror or whatever, and one of the things that they do is they give you notebooks so you can write stuff down. They record everything so you can analyze it later, but they also give you little stress toys, like little spongy toys. And I can remember Jonathan Tweet standing there ripping the heads off of little stuffed penguins as people were just absolutely misinterpreting everything in the set we gave them, because the first couple of cracks we're writing as if the people knew how to play the game, and of course they didn't. And so you have to write a game that is friendly to somebody who's never played before. And I will say that the new starter set definitely does that. I felt that I could have sat down at the table and with very little prep, if I had never played D&D before, could have run it as if I was playing a board game in a lot of ways, and it still had all these components. But I think a lot of people have realized over the years that the most important thing for gaming is not necessarily what game people are playing, but it's that they keep playing. We've known for years that the biggest reason somebody quits playing a game, whether it's D&D, whether it's Elder Scrolls Online, whether it's something else, is because their friends stop playing. Because with some exceptions, most tabletop games need other people. And so
That's
I think
true.
that you're right when you say like about that analogy about the train thing. I totally get it. If you're walking around your hobby and all you're seeing are older people in there, I mean, good for them, but really got to start bringing younger folks in.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I had been introduced to D&D when I was younger. I got into it late, I think.
You hit it right on the nose about Beckme did the same thing. Frank Menser's Red Box. If you read through it, they assume you're not a dungeon master, and they teach you right from the beginning to the end. And that's awesome. That I haven't seen the new starter set for 5e. You're talking about the newest one? Yeah. I did see the one for Stranger Things. Did you guys see that one? The box set?
Yeah, I've seen
not picked that up yet. That looks fascinating. As I understand it, it's very strongly themed, but it is a starter set. So I don't. I mean, maybe I'll talk somebody into giving me another free one. But
I'll tell you with that though is the fact that I see that in Target and Walmart and all of these places that you typically don't see, role-playing gaming popping up. That is huge, because the mom that's walking through looking for something for their kids for Christmas. Oh, hey, Stranger Things, that's popular on Netflix. Let's give it to them. You just introduced someone to gaming and you didn't even know it. And
True.
that's huge. That's huge with gaming.
Yeah.
I do want to at some point look inside that because I want to see how much of a starter set it is. Because hopefully they did the same thing with it they did with the regular starter set. Because yeah, you're right.
Is there a new one? Because the one I bought years ago.
No, there's a new one.
They came out with a new one this year based on the characters.
The newer stuff, yeah.
Campaign, whatever.
Yeah, because the one I have, one I have, I think is a starter set. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 5e officials been published since 2014.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's such a big difference in shift, because when I was kind of in the early 80s, that was the whole panic, and it wasn't. I think the only place I could get D&D books was at the hobby store or like a B. Dalton bookseller, which I don't even think that's around anymore. But that's really great for this generation that they can just go to any, like you said, Walmart, and whatever. So
I was very lucky. There was a bookstore maybe a mile from my house.
Yeah.
That I could drive my bike to, and it was right actually across the parking lot from the library. And he had D&D books. He had the original BattleTech box sets, and I can remember buying all my first edition D&D books there, back in late 70s, early 80s, and I considered myself lucky at the time, because you're right, because you had to search it out in some places. Again, I grew up in Mass, so Mass was not Satanic Panic land. That was they were pretty open to it. So
at some point,
that was a fun time for sure.
It's getting late, but at Page, I will have to tell you guys the Satanic Panic story that I have, but it takes a while, and it's quite funny.
Check this out, guys.
Dark Dungeon.
That's one of the flyers. Yeah.
These were the little.
Oh, is that a chick? Is that a chick track?
Yeah.
These are the little pamphlets that they sent out.
They gave out. Yeah.
In the early 80s that were to take you away from. That were, the kind of. I don't even know the right words. I'm not a good word person.
Getting them outside of Gen Con.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, these were, interesting stuff. Yeah, we lived through it, guys. And now it's super. I mean, it's funny. My mom, when I was growing up, I don't know how many times my rule books were thrown in the trash or burned for my parents. I mean, even you could see in the back of a record player, all those albums that were on there, they would have all been burned in the early '80s for me, but for my parents. But it's funny. I don't know when this shift happened, but I have a nephew who's now 20, but he started playing D&D. And my mom was so against it when I was growing up, and at that time when I was a kid. And then I went to Christmas one time, and my mom was like, "Yeah, little Daniel's playing D&D," and she was all excited about it. I'm like, "What the heck, Mom? When did you change your views on Dungeons and Dragons?" And I just think that whole culture shift is just so funny and so awesome that it's not being scolded on the news anymore. It's pretty accepted in our which is awesome.
Well, it was not to get into it, but the Satanic Panic wasn't just RPGs. It was heavy metal music.
Oh, it was everything.
It was a whole movement that role-playing games got caught up in.
Yep.
It just was in the cultural zeitgeist for a number of years.
Yeah, and
if anyone's really interested, Seth Skorkowski, a YouTuber, put out a video about a month and a half ago where he goes through the entire history of the Satanic Panic in extreme detail. So I highly recommend checking that out. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I mean, I lived through it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, like I just said, like all those albums in the back by my player, they were all, I remember them going on and saying the backwards masking stuff and heavy metal and Quiet Riot and all that. Ozzy Osbourne wants to eat your soul. Yeah, just like whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I love that kids have it a little bit different today, where it's really encouraged. It's encouraged. That whole thing, that whole sitting with your friends at a table, eating Doritos, rolling dice, telling stories, cooperative stories. We have a goal, camaraderie. God, that is so awesome. I'm so happy for them because I lived through that. And those are some of my greatest memories. Sitting around, rolling dice, eating Doritos, Mountain Dew, 3 a.m. You know what I mean? It's just awesome for them. Good for them. Good for them.
We've had some really great comments in the chat over the last, last 30 minutes or so. And I think you've brought a lot of folks, maybe both of you, come over and joined us for their first time for a Friday Night Live. But I don't know. We've been at it for a little while now. Maybe it's time we want to wind this down a little bit. Ron, I don't know if you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. But Ron, did you have anything additional for the guests, or you want to?
No, I think I was starting to say before more technical difficulties that, Angelo, you're right on target. I mean, I've said it a million times that, during that COVID period, people were really tearing each other apart. And, I kept bringing up the point that we can have our differences.
Mm-hmm.
You can disagree.
Oh, did we lose Ron?
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 No, we got you. You chopped a little bit, but you're good.
Yeah, I got to get this sorted out. But, the point is that all gamers are aligned when they're around the game table.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's what it's all about, man.
Somebody can disagree with you about, I don't think females should be turned into males and vice versa in the Greyhawk setting. You two could, you could disagree with those people and still have a great time around the game table.
Exactly.
So, that's really what people need to remember.
Yep. It's what unites us.
Yeah. And that's what it is too. It's an opinion. It's opinion.
Yeah, you know what they say about opinions.
Yep.
Yeah. But Phil, I think you were starting to get at this. I think we should wind this down. We've been going for over an hour and a half now, and we will pick this conversation back up at Page.
No doubt. Yeah, and anybody in the chat, I know we've maybe had some new folks. Badges are still available for you to join us at the show, whether it's a single day badge, whether it's a weekend badge. It is a 4-day show starting on January 15th, running to the 18th over MLK Day weekend. There are some of the local hotels are sold out due to attendees, but there definitely are options to find a place to stay if you are going to do a late minute trip and gift yourself. We've had folks do that late minute, fly across the country for the show and still have a fantastic time. And so I would highly recommend it. There is a virtual badge available as well. We don't have a ton of virtual events, but that is an option as well. And if you are into collectibles, our charity auction, which benefits our gamer assistance program. We are a nonprofit, and our gamer assistance program is what the money goes to. I think someone in chat earlier asked, what was our charity or program of choice this year? Well, it's going to be the Gamer Assistance Program every year for Page, and that is where we dole out small grants to people in the gaming community who found themselves in financial difficulties. So it's a fantastic, not only is it a fantastic program, but this year's charity auction is going to be fantastic. Ron has been working on the auction list, and the items are particularly nice this year. It's very high quality items that are going to be up for offer this year. So anyway, and if you have gotten a badge, there are fantastic events that are still available for you to jump in on and get tickets for world-class convention RPG events. So please check out the calendar. All right. Agile Monk, yes. Gamer Assistance Program, yes. Cool. I was hoping
that's the core. It's the core of what we do.
Exactly. Yes, Agile Monk. It's the core of what we do. Matt Archibald in chat says, "Play On Guard at page 3." Yes, our good friend.
I'll be there.
Matt Archibald always offers an On Guard game, which is a fantastic early French dueling aristocratic game where a lot of French accents come out during the game. So you want to give that a look and throw Matt a little love. So, all right. Well, are we ready to sign off for the evening?
I think we are. For the guests, you want to say anything before we sign off, and then we'll let Jen close us out.
Sure. If you don't mind a shameless plug to my channel. By the way, you guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to meeting all of you guys and gal at Page. I'm really looking forward to that. But shameless plug, if you can go to the DMandFriends.com, that brings you to my YouTube channel. Check out some of the videos. I have a whole new series on how to be a better dungeon master, and I hope that will help anybody out there that has some questions about morale and loyalty and keeping your players engaged, that kind of stuff. So I kind of deal with some of those things.
Yeah, I'm gonna look you up.
Yeah, thanks. I just subscribed to your channel, so there you go.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Just want to say thanks for having me on. You can find all of our games and miniatures on trilaterum.com, trenchcoatminis.com. They all go to the same place. We're excited to be coming to Page. Stop by the booth, try our games, talk to us, check out the minis, check out our terrain, just chat. We love to talk to people. We love to run games. We love to see people. So I'm very excited about the show.
All right, and just a couple things here. Agile Monk, to answer your question, yes, you can buy badges, and we can donate them to veterans. We're in touch with a couple different veterans groups that can help us get that done. But we're getting tight on time. So if you want to do something, you can catch me at ron@phillygamingexpo.com and we can get that moving. And I think there was another question. If you're going to ship items for the auction, again, ron@phillygamingexpo.com, and I'll give you all those details. But I mean, we're running really short of time for anything that's going to get shipped at this point. So, let's talk about it. Just drop me an email or hit me up on Facebook chat, and we'll go from there.
Ron is also a member of a barter group, and I think you have auctions on there occasionally, right?
Yeah, we actually auctioned some stuff off that ended tonight. That's going to the Gamer Assistance Program. So yeah, we take special auctions to benefit the Gamer Assistance Program. Sometimes we'll specifically designate the auctions to go towards operating costs for Page, but these were for the Gamer Assistance Program.
Is there a way that people could do cash donations to the fund?
They can go to the website and they can go to the merchandise section and they can buy denominations of donations there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can buy as many as you want. If you want to donate $35, you buy a 25 and a 10, or if you want to donate $500, you buy $500 ones. Whatever you want, you can basically craft it there.
And you can designate it to go directly to the grant.
That only goes to if you buy the donation things on the website. Dollar for dollar goes into the Gamer Assistance Program.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we don't commingle.
Down to the chat, there is a
separate thing.
Restream threw up a link.
What's that?
And that's a 503, right?
It's we're a 501c3. That's right.
501. Sorry, 501(c). Yeah, I don't know why I said 3.
C3. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, Jen, you want to take us out?
Sure. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And as always, we will see you next week, same time, same place.
And we don't know who our guests are going to be for the final one before Page, but I'm sure some will emerge. I will be on the road on my laptop, and I'm sure I won't have as many connection problems. So we will see you soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Good night.
Thanks for having us.